It was actually one Lent course when a visiting speaker came and invited people to be prayed for. And I distinctly remember this occasion when, completely against my better judgment, as it were, this single tear came down my cheek and there was a quiver in my leg. And I kind of knew that this had to be about something more than anything I was just manufacturing myself. And that was the beginning of a process that led to really meeting the fullness of God in the Holy Spirit. For me, it's almost like moving from owning a regular kind of television to one in high definition. The picture is still the same, but the detail and the quality of what you're experiencing is transformed. And so I had lived my Christian life, I'd said my prayers, I'd been to church, but I had never had the kind of depth of personal encounter with God, which then came as a result of the presence of the Holy Spirit.
I was prayed for. I don't know what I expected to happen, but there wasn't anything perceivable that did actually happen, except the shaking stopped. And I felt peaceful. Next morning, oh my goodness, something had significantly changed. It was the kind of morning when I just felt bursting with joy. Absolutely bursting with joy. And I was grinning from ear to ear. I was buzzing, absolutely. And I had a meeting that next morning. I was involved in sales at the time. And it's a diesel generators, really interesting product. But I enjoyed that. But I had a meeting in Rotherham. And I found myself driving to that meeting, unable to contain my joy and wanting to bless people, everybody, blessing the car drivers, blessing the pedestrians, blessing the buses, the passengers. I was blessing people and just filled and busting with joy. And I walked into this meeting with this customer and he just sat there dumbstruck and said, "What on earth has happened to you?" Because he knew me quite well. And I said, "It's amazing." He said, "Well, you look like you've won the lottery." I said, "Lottery? My friend, I've got something much better than winning the lottery. And I've got Jesus."
Being filled with the Holy Spirit is like just opening everything up. It makes the Bible like a pop-up book. It makes your prayer life more vibrant. It makes talking to other Christians more of a pleasure. The Holy Spirit's very important in my life.
But when you are with Holy Spirit, you don't need anything else. You're already satisfied, you're already happy, you're already pleasant, you already achieved a certain amount of satisfaction to be there. A lot of people struggle in way to find a satisfaction or a happiness or a confidence or a lot of things. But once you be with Holy Spirit, you already achieved that level of satisfaction.
I think the Holy Spirit creates a sense of balance in my life, that you can go out and have a crazy day and come back and focus on what's true. The Holy Spirit allows me to rest and have that sense of calm in an otherwise pretty crazy life. The Holy Spirit brings an indefinable sense of peace in that it is about the truth that's been given to us, that when it's difficult to look at what's true and what matters in life, you can have that supernatural sense of focus and peace in something that's already been done for us.
Occasionally we come across people who are cautious about the involvement of the Holy Spirit because to them it's something very new. But it's also something very beautiful and something very natural. And it's the state we should be in as Christians, filled with the Holy Spirit. I always remember one particular lady who was dreading week 6 coming around. And she told us that she would come to that session, but she wasn't having anything to do with Holy Spirit or tongues, particularly tongues. And as we were praying for the group, and we were in someone's living room when we were going around the group were worshipping, and as we went round, I was worried about getting to this lady, thinking what we were going to do. But when we were on the person to her right, on the way round, she began praising and singing in tongues before we'd got there to pray for her. So God was already ahead of us. And I think we can trust God to do that. That if people do have any worries or concerns, just remember, God ordained this for you. This is what he wants for you. And he would never do anything to hurt you or harm you. He would never do anything that isn't good for you. And the Holy Spirit is definitely good for you.